Hey everyone, it's Adam here. I can't see the guy. Just got done watching I guess you'd call it part 8 into the installment of the Hellraiser series. Hellraiser Hellworld. Hopefully I don't have to spend too long ranting about this god-awful piece of shit. It is the final end of the Rick Boter directing these Hellraiser movies, because he directed this movie, Hellworld, he directed Deader, and he directed Hellseeker. Those 3 movies. Only Hellraiser Deader was like a back-to-back movie of this movie. Okay, made in 2005. The problem I have with these fucking Hellraiser series movies is the fact that they don't feel like Hellraiser movies. You know, I've said this about Hellseeker and I've said this about Deader. They feel like failed scripts for horror movies. They feel like low-budget fucking horror flicks where you're meant to make them into some sort of movie, but didn't quite get the job done, but I thought to myself, hey, let's throw Pinhead in it, let's do 1 or 2 changes, call it a Hellraiser movie. Bang, there's your movie. I will admit one thing, this movie, Hellworld, it's a better story than Deader, and it's a better story than Hellseeker. I will admit that. Now, the only reason why I'm not mentioning Inferno and Bloodline is because I don't mind those movies so much. The first 3 Hellraiser movies, 1, Hellbound, Hell on Earth, they're the best movies. Bloodline was like a mediocre movie. Inferno has a lot of problems, but there's a few dibs and dabs in it, which I liked. But from then on, it's one hell of a roller coaster failure. But Hellworld, I will admit the story in it's better than Hellseeker and it's better than Deader. But still, it wasn't enough to save the whole fucking movie. So Hellraiser Raid, Hellworld, Evil Goes Online. And that's basically what this movie's about. Hellraiser goes online. Because the movie opens up with these bunch of kids. I'm going to give away spoilers, everybody. I'm going to tell you what this whole movie was about. Hopefully it will save you the pain and suffering of watching it yourself. Now, the film opens up pretty good. I will admit that the opening of this movie was very interesting. The whole concept about the Hellraiser being online, you got these online gamers doing games and mystery solving over the Hellraiser franchise. Okay? Not bad. The problem is, it doesn't lead anywhere after that. I mean, we learned that one of the lead kids who plays the online games committed suicide. We get these uninteresting characters, like there's a group of 5 of them. One's a black guy, one's this goth chick, sort of goth chick. I mean, you get the lead guy who's like feeling guilty about his friend's suicide, but he didn't kill him or anything, so he kind of like befriends all the rest of them, and they all go to this big party in this mansion where all the other Hellraiser Hellworld fans are having a party. Anyway, they turn up at the party. I forget the guy's name. Who was the fucking host? Lance Hanriksen, something like that. He's the role of the host at this big party. And he introduced him to this room. We got all kinds of weird shit in there. Skulls and babies' heads in jars. All that kind of shit. Each guest at this house has got their own mobile phone. And there's these guys in these white masks with numbers on, so you could dial the number and communicate with them. Okay. The problem is now with this movie is that it doesn't really go anywhere after that. I mean, it turns into like a mind-fucking film. That's the problem I have with these Hellraiser movies. They're not like the first 3 movies where you can feel the horror to it. Because in this Hellworld, the problem is there's not a huge body count. I mean, for example, we get the goth chick who ends up in this like this torture chair that seems to be taken like out of a Saw bucket movie, and that's what it felt like. It felt like this scene was took out of a Saw movie because I think to myself, right, so Hellraiser's a Saw movie now. This is not something you'd expect to see in a Hellraiser movie, but the goth girl's chained up, and she ends up getting a throat cut. We learn that one of these other league guys loses an inhaler at the party, goes down a shaft. He goes down to get it. Pinhead cuts his head off. And then the twist is, why is Pinhead killing off all these people one by one? Because nobody opened the box. So there's a reason as to why he's killing off all these people one by one. Again, another good idea. You didn't open the box, therefore Pinhead has no right arriving. But he has arrived. What else the fuck happened? I mean, the CGI effects in this movie were not that impressive. I mean, we see a scene where one of the lead characters gets like a pin through his thumb, and his blood looks fucking purple. I suppose it could have been like the effects and the practical effects of the CGI and the lighting that made his blood look like purple. Because I'm not kidding. It goes through his thumb, and it looks like he's got purple blood when it's oozing from the skin. So, in terms of effects, not really impressive effect-wise. You can tell it's taken like a big step down from the money. What else is there? The lead girl in this movie has the mobile phone. It's basically about Pinhead causing this chaos inside, if you could call it chaos, inside this big party. They're trying to make out they're making a big impressive twist at the end where we learn that the host of this mansion who's making this big Hellraiser party, I keep forgetting his name, Lance Henriksen, he was the father of the boy who committed suicide. So he's like trying to get revenge like on all these kids. Like, what kind of twist is that? You know, that's like a typical twist. And we later learn that all these friends are in their coffins, buried, and they all got the phones with them inside their corpses. And they're trying to figure out who's making a phone call to who. You know, and that's the twist of not summoners in the Pinhead, but Pinhead not coming to life, because eventually Pinhead does come into the equation. He does kill a cop by stabbing him through the neck. But when you think about it clearly, Pinhead was meant to be the leading role, yeah, reprised by Doug Bradley yet again. Sadly, it's his last movie, it's his last appearance as the Pinhead character. But in all fairness, he should have called it off a long time ago, because there was no point in making these fucking series. You know, it's a shame that Doug Bradley carried on the Pinhead character, only to have him like in these atrocious installments like Hellseeker, Deader, and Hellworld, and all that. Is there no fucking reason he had? Is there no fucking wonder he had nothing to do with Revelations? And I'll get to my problem with Revelations when I review that movie, because I've not seen it properly. I've only seen like the bad effects of the guy who took over his role, basically. But this installment was Doug Bradley's last performance as Pinhead, and the film fucking ends basically, you know, with the lead guy, the host, messing with the configuration box. Pinhead arrives with Cenobites, and he gets ripped to fucking pieces. And that's basically your movie, everybody. I mean, like I said, I've gave away spoilers. I've gave away pretty much everything that happened in this movie. Like I said, the story was okay. It was okay. But not enough to save the movie. The story was better than Dead. It was better than Hellseeker. I admit that. I suppose out of the three, Rick Bota, who directed this movie, and Dead and Hellseeker, this one was the best one storytelling-wise. It's better than Hellseeker, it's better than Dead, but still not enough. It's still a bad movie. Still a bad movie. And after just watching it moments ago, so I can do this review on it. You know, I kind of hope these people gave people an insight about what they'll be heading for if they actually watch this movie. You know, if you want to remember Hellraiser, you remember them from the first 3 movies. Those 3 movies are the classics. Okay. So, this is not me coming on here trying to insult Hellraiser fans, because I still know a few people online who like the Hellraiser series. If that's fine, if you like the Hellraiser series, including Hellworld, that's fine. But it's not me on here trying to insult you or anything like that. These movies are based on my opinions, not yours. And I will say I won't get the reasons why you like this movie, but I'm not going to insult you for having your own opinion. I mean, I'm even looking at the reception of this movie. It was given 3.2 out of 10 average rating. A lot of people says the flick was a good time, but it's a very poor sequel considering it's meant to be a Hellraiser movie. Again, I'm not the only person on here who considers this movie to be a Hellraiser movie. You can just technically see that the characters and Pinhead were like thrown into this movie to make it a Hellraiser movie and all that kind of thing. But again, I like the idea about it going online and about all these gamers trying to play with the Hellraiser franchise. This could have been a good movie if more thought would have gone into it about the backgrounds of the characters, or coming up with a better twist other than luring the gamers into the party at the mansion, and with the lead guy, you know, being the father of the son who committed suicide. If they would have just like worked on that a little bit more, I reckon we would have got a more good storytelling Hellraiser movie. You know, and if we got like a better kill count, I mean, Pinhead could have wiped out everybody at that party if he wanted to. Like he did in Hellraiser 3 at the boiler room, you know, where he wiped out the whole nightclub full of people. He could have done that at the party. But we could have seen more creative killings. I know in Hellraiser 3 we saw the eyeball and the CDs going into the DJ's skull and all that kind of shit. If we could have seen more creative killings and people being wiped out in this party, it would have been even more interesting. But you could tell they wouldn't have had enough money to make that sort of thing happen. And the whole thing about them all being buried in their coffins with mobile phones and all that, it's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb. I mean, you would not see that in a typical Hellraiser movie, you know. But I'm just glad the flick's over. Again, I won't watch it again, especially not the latest installments in the series. The first 3 movies I'll watch any day of the week, but after Inferno, those 3 movies can go to fucking hell. Rick Boter, who directed them 3 movies, were terrible movies. Again, I'd watch this above Hellseeker, and I'd watch it above Deader. But at the same time, I would not watch it again. If I was forced to watch it, I'd watch this movie. But simply because of the interesting concept of it being online and taking place at the party. But other than that, it's not a good movie, and there's no reason why you should watch it. You know, so disappointing. And again, I hope this movie gave some viewers a good insight before they actually watch it. What do you think about it? What are your personal comments and thoughts? You know, please leave them below. I'll be really interested in reading them, and hopefully we can get a conversation rolling on this. I mean, I just want this franchise to fucking end now because, like I say, after Inferno, the movies don't get it better than here. You know, I know this is the end of the Rick Boter directing these movies, but there's still more movies after this. We've still got Revelations, we've still got Judgment, and we've still got that fucking remake. I'm still going to get through all those yet before I end this franchise. So, I can't think of a better way than spend my spare time watching these movies so I can fucking do rants and reviews on them. So, thanks a lot, everyone. That's Hellworld. Thank God that one's over, but there's still more shit to come. Peace out, everybody. Have a nice day. Peace.